So hi everyone. This is Edward Stephen from HKExcel. So because we all know that IB exam is coming soon, and so I decided to make this video to help you to prepare well for your exam. So in this note is 2015 Ultimate Tip Class. So basically this video is for 2015 examiners in May, and I have sort out like some question types that I think is the most important in your coming exam. So, but of course, it doesn't mean that you don't need to revise other topics, but this are the topics that I think you must know before exam, okay? So in Math SL, we have 6 topics, right? In topic 1, algebra, so you need to know log, binomial expansion, and sequences, okay? At least you need to know these 3 topics very well, okay? So these 3 chapters, I mean, and log especially, you need to know how to change the base. Okay, so example, let's say if I give you log 312, how do you change the base to 5? Okay, so you can actually use the data booklet, but usually I'll just memorize in this way, big over small. So this is the fastest way. Big over small, so you can just look at this number, right? Okay, so this is, the size is actually bigger than this, right? The base. So let's say log 1 and then this one is 2, yeah? So you can see this number is bigger than the base. So base, big over small. So log 12 over log 3. And then you can assign any base. So this is 5, this is 5, right? This is how you change the base. And these 2 values, they are the same, okay? But one thing you need to know that is the base here, they must be the same, okay? You cannot assign this one to be 5, this one to be 6, okay? So let's say for this one, log 1, 2, log 1, 2, if you want to change the base to 10, then it will be log big over small. Log 1, yeah? So then you just change the base to 10, yeah? Okay, and then special skill. So special skill is like, if I give you log 3 log 3, 4, and simplify this one, then what do you get? So always remember, if same constant, same number, and same base, then you can cross it out, then the number will be equal to 4, okay? This is very, very important skills. So let's say if I give you ELN 10, then what is the answer? So LN is actually log to the base E, right? So right now, E and E cancels out, right? So then you only have 10 left. So this one's a special skill. So make sure you know all these 2 skills. And of course, basic rule of log then. But that is too simple for you, I think. So if you want to revise more on logs, I have 3 notes for this one, okay? 3 notes, 1A, 1B, and then log 2. So you can actually come for a lesson or sign up for a free trial online, okay? So for binomial expansion, this one is a must question in your IB exam. So you will definitely see one question in your IB exam. So either in, but it's usually in section A, okay? Either in paper 1 or paper 2. So it can be a Cal or non-Cal paper, okay? Question. So there are actually 3 basic question types. One is finding the coefficient, okay? And also finding the terms, and also 2 bracket questions. So basically in binomial expansion, all you need to know is one equation. It's NR, and then A, N minus R, BR. So it's all about this equation. And what does it mean by A, N, and R, right? And B here. So always remember, A plus B power N. So binomial expansion, BI stands for 2 things. So this can only apply to 2 things, okay? So A plus B. So there are 2 things and then power of N. And then you want to expand that, yeah? So how do you expand? Then you have to use this equation, yeah? So, and usually question will ask you like, oh, find a coefficient of, so let's say you're given 3x squared plus 10 and then power of 2, yeah? Okay, so they may ask you to find the coefficient of x to the power of 8, and also maybe asking you to find a second term of this expansion, right? Okay, so you need to know how to do this kind of question. But of course, if you want to know more about this and also the techniques, you can go through my notes of binomial theorem note 1. Okay, note 1. But I can review one skills here right now for you. So basically, when you expand, right? So for this one, let's say power of 4, yeah? So when you expand, then you will always use NR8, N minus R, BR, right? So it's 4 and then starting from 0. And the first term is 3x squared, and then the second term is 10, yeah? So it's N minus R, 4 minus 0 is just 4, yeah? And then 0, plus 4, 1, and then 3x squared, power 3, 10, power of 1, and then plus so on, yeah? Okay, but all you need to know about this, so let's say R is equal to 10. What is a term? So this is the first term, right? The first term. Then R is equal to 0. I mean 0, sorry. And then if the second term, then R is equal to 1, yeah? Okay, and how about 4, 2? Then 4, 2, when r is equal to 2, then it's actually the third term of the expansion, yeah? So if I ask you to find a second term, then r must be equal to what? R must be equal to 1, because we always start counting from 0 to 1, okay? But if you want to have more examples, then you can go through my binomial expansion notes, okay? So, and then for sequences, you must know how to write the general expression of the sequence. So let's say I give you 2, 4, 8, and then 16, and so on. This one is kind of a geometric sequence, right? Okay, so you have a common ratio. If I ask you to write write this in a sigma form, okay? So for let's say n equals to 5, yeah? Okay, then you have to write this, describe like 5 terms of this, and write all this in the sigma form, yeah? Okay, you need to know how to write in this form. And also, one more thing. For our geometric sequence, we have sum to infinity. Sum to infinity. We all know that is u1 over 1 minus r, right? Okay, u1 over 1 minus r. And r, there is a limit. So you will see on your data booklet, r is smaller than 1, yeah? Okay, with this 2 sign, right? Okay, so what does it mean by this? So this is actually modular sign. And you can express it in this way. R is smaller, is bigger than -1 and smaller than 1. Okay, this is all you need to know about the ratio. So the common ratio, if you apply the sum to infinity, okay, then always remember it has to be within -1 and 1. Okay, why is it? So let's say if you have 2, 4, 8, 16, and so on, this sequence, right? It keeps multiplying by 2. So sum of infinity, it means you add to infinity, right? So obviously for this case, we don't need to use the sum to infinity equation, right? Because when you add to infinity, the number becomes larger and larger. So then it will be infinity. So this one is not applicable to this equation, okay? So this equation only works on, let's say, 4, 2, 1, and then 1/2, and so on. So you can see, keep dividing by 2, or you can say times 1/2. So the common ratio keep like making the number smaller and smaller. So finally, you're adding 0. So it makes no difference, right? Okay, if you add to infinity. So after like this part, okay, so then it will be like adding 0. So it won't make big change to the overall sum, right? So that's why you can use this one. U1 is the first term, and then over 1 minus r, right? So this one will be 4 over 1 minus r, okay? So which is equal to 8, yeah? So this is important thing you need to know. So usually some of the question they will give you quadratic equation, okay? Then you have 2 r values. So maybe one is like 0.2, another one is 2, yeah? Okay, then for this case, if they mention is sum to infinity, then you have to choose 0.2 because it's between -1 and 1, okay? Yeah, this is all about the topic 1. And then for topic 2, function. So function, actually I got 5 notes for this one. But there are 2 important notes that you must know. Discriminant. So discriminant is all about b squared minus 4ac, yeah? And that determines what? That determines the root, okay, is distinct root, or no real root, or equal roots. Okay, and always remember this only applies to a quadratic equation, x squared equation, x squared function. Yeah, okay, if that's x cubed, then you cannot apply discriminant. Okay, so for distinct root, then b squared minus 4ac must be bigger than 0. If no root, must be smaller than 0, and then equal roots must be equal to 0. Yeah, okay, so b squared minus 4ac, and what does it mean by b squared minus 4ac here? So let's say x squared plus 4x plus 1, yeah? So discriminant of this one, then it will be 4 squared, b squared, minus 4a, and then c, yeah? So 16 minus 4, which is equal to 12, yeah? Okay, so this is bigger than 0, so that's why this function will have distinct root. Okay, and the second concept you need to know is transformation. Transformation is a, and then f bx plus c plus d, right? You need to understand what does it mean by a, b, c, d here, okay? All the values. So basically one easy way to understand this is outside the bracket, okay, affect the y, and then inside the bracket, affect the x. So outside the bracket, a and d, you can see a is like multiply with the function, b is just plus or minus, right? Okay, so if that's the case, a, then it will be just multiply y. Okay, example. So if fx is equal to this, so this is 1, this is -1, right? Okay, if I say 2fx, then what happened? Then you just multiply the 2 with the y, right? So then it will be 2 and -2. So just multiply the y, yeah? Okay, and then for d is shift up or down. Yeah? Okay, so up or down, then basically you just need to like move this up or down. And then if I give you fx plus 1, then what happens? So it refers to this one, 0. Plus 1, go up by 1 unit, right? So this one is a 1 and then 0 and then 2. Yeah? Okay. So this one, you know that if go up, then the y, then this value will be positive, right? Let's say positive 1, go up or down. So affect the y. And then how about inside the x? Okay, remember, all the things inside the x must be reversed. So it's like the opposite, okay, the other way around. So like if I give you f2x, then what happened? So first, I know that fx is 0, 4, and 8, right here, example, okay? So what happened to f2x? So many students get this confused. So they're not sure about like the 2 here, is it like multiplied by 2, just like y? So it will be like 0, 8, and 16. But that is wrong, okay? Because reverse, inside the bracket, okay, always reverse and affect the x. So reverse means it has to be like multiplied by 2, but reverse, then it will be divided by 2. So for b value, write this down. It's always divide x, okay? Divide x. So you divide by 2, then it will be 0, 2, and 4. Yeah, 0, 2, and 4. And that is the answer, okay? So and then finally for c, c is just a positive or shift left or right, okay? Left or right. So example, if I give you fx plus 2, then what happened to here? Plus 2, plus 2. So it seems like goes right, yeah, positive 2. But actually for this one, then it will be go left, okay, go left. Yeah, so if I give you x minus 2, then it will be go right. So negative go right and then positive go left. This is all you need to memorize for the transformation, okay? So we'll move on to topic 3. Okay, so topic 3, trigonometry. So this is also a very, very important topic. So it can be in section A or section B, okay, either in paper 1 or paper 2. So obviously, first of all, you need to know the transformation again. So this one has a similar concept with this one, okay? So transformation, a sine bx plus c plus d. So it's all the same, a cosine bx plus c plus d, right? So whenever you see sine, cosine, tangent, okay, sine, cosine, tangent is all about the trigonometry, right? Okay, so what does it mean by a and d here? So a, again, is like multiply y, okay? But there's one more meaning. So you will see amplitude in the exam. So how do you find amplitude? So it's always half of the vertical distance, okay? So what does it mean? If I give you this, let's say this one is 10 and then this one is minus 8, right? What is the amplitude? Amplitude is half of the vertical distance. So you have to find out the vertical distance, right? And then you divide by 2, yeah? So easy way to memorize this is y max minus y mean divided by 2. So y max is 10 and the minimum is minus 8. So 10 minus 8 divided by 2. 18 divided by 2, which is equal to 9. Yeah? Okay? So you get this, right? So the amplitude of this one is 9. And all you need to know is y max minus y mean over 2. And then for d part, for d, okay, so outside the bracket, okay, so for d is easy. So just shift up or down. So if positive, then go up. Positive go up and then negative go down, right? Okay, and then how about b? So b, we know that it means like affecting the x because inside the bracket, right? Okay, but you have to divide by the value, right? Okay, so and this concept come up with the period, okay? So period. So what does it mean by period? Period means the horizontal distance that repeat itself. Okay. So y sine graph is like this. Y cosine graph is U-shaped, right? Y tangent graph is like a thunder, yeah? Okay, because they ends at 2 pi. This one ends at 2 pi, yeah? Because the next period, you know that it's gonna be the same shape. So that is what we define period, right? Because the next period will be the same. And then for cosine, next period will be another U-shape, right? But only for tangent, always remember. So put a star on it. This one is not 2 pi, this one is pi, okay? So only for the period for tangent is pi. So if this case, if I ask you sine 2x, so what happened to the period? So I know that sine x is like this, right? Okay, so if 2x, then you just need to divide the original period, 2 pi divided by 2, that is equal to pi, yeah? So the sine graph would be here, ends at pi, yeah? Okay, and how about cosine 3x, cosine 3x? Then what is the value here? So ends at 2 power over 3, easy, right? Okay, so but if the IB question, IB exam board asks you to find like 2x tangent 2x, then what is the answer for this one? What is the period for this one? Then you need to know that it's not 2 pi over 2, it's pi over 2. So the tangent will be like this, pi over 2, right? Okay, so this one is pi over 2. Yeah, you get this, right? Okay, so tangent is pi. And then next page, topic 4. So for a vector. So there are two things you need to know, the unit vector and velocity vector. So usually this can be like in section B question, okay, application question. So I assume you have already learned the scalar product, A dot B equals to AB cosine theta, okay? And also the intersection. So I assume this kind of question type is kind of easy for you and standardized, okay? But if you still want to learn this, then you can go through my video note 1 and note 2, yeah? And for unit vector is my note 3, and then for velocity vector is note 5, application. And note 4 is all about the diagram. So diagram question may appear in your coming exam, okay? But most likely, I think this year will be an application question because it's much harder, okay? So this year exam usually, because it's the second year of the new syllabus, so I think will be harder than the previous year. So make sure you understand the velocity vector for the application question. So what does it mean by the velocity vector right here? So A equals to A plus TB, right? You know this one is standardized vector equation. A means the position vector, so it means 1 point on the vector line. Vector means a line with an arrow, a line with a direction. So this one, let's say 4, 3, yeah? So pointing this way. This is and position vector. It's just 1 point on the vector line, right? And then dv is a direction vector. So direction vector, you need at least 2 points, yeah? Because only 2 points you can form direction. And then t means the parameter. So parameter you can just explain just like the constant, the number that will affect the length of dv. So let's say if I add 2 here, then what happened? Then it will be multiplied by 2, then it will be 8 and 6 because you multiplied this by 2. Then extend the length, right? The 2 here means the parameter. So parameter means the medium, okay, the medium. The number that affect the direction vector. Okay, but how does that apply to velocity vector? So let's say the car start at like 2, 0, okay, and then move in the direction of 4, 3. Yeah, okay, then what does it mean? Then it means that this equation, okay, for the car, the position vector would be 2, 0 plus t and then 4, 3. So this is the equation of the car, right? And usually they'll ask you to find the speed of this car, right? Okay, so the speed, you only need to refer to the direction vector, which is the velocity vector, right? Because they are going to this way. Okay, then just need to find out the speed of that is 4 squared plus 3 squared, right? Magnitude is always square root v1 squared plus v2 squared. Okay, so let's say for a plane, then it start at 2, 0, but obviously the direction vector will be larger. Maybe it's 400 to 300, right? Okay, because it's much faster, right? The speed. So it will be square root 400 squared and plus 300 squared. So right now you understand velocity vector, right? Okay, that determines the speed. Yeah? Okay, and how about unit vector? So unit vector, if you refer to the data booklet, you will actually have the equation. But many students don't understand this. 1 over the magnitude of vector times the vector, right? Okay, so this one is the equation. That's how you find out the unit vector, right? So let's say if I give you 4, 3, this is AB, yeah? Okay, if I ask you to find the unit vector of this one, then how do you do that? You just need to find out the magnitude. So all of us know how to apply the equation, okay? But what does it mean by unit vector? So actually I saw some higher level questions. They will ask you the meaning of the unit vector or ask you indirectly, okay? So this is very key. This is a key thing you need to know because over 20 years of past paper question, there's none of the SL question like this. Okay, so I'll find out the answer for you for this one first. So it's like 16 plus 9 is 25. Square root 25 is 1 over 5. Yeah, 4, 3. So it's 4 over 5 and then 3 over 5. Yeah, okay. So you have this, and then if I ask you to find the magnitude of the unit vector, okay, then you'll be surprised. So square root 4 over 5 squared plus 3 over 5 squared. What do you get? So it's square root 16 over 25 plus 9 over 25. Yeah? Okay. So 25 over 25, which is equal to 1. So unit vector the magnitude of this one, the mag, okay, is always equal to 1. Okay, this is very important. So let's say if the IB question saying that like, oh, AB is the unit vector of, let's say, xy, yeah? And what is the magnitude of this? And then 2 marks, okay, or 1 marks. Then you know that is equal to 1. Okay, you don't need to do any calculation. That is the true meaning of the unit vector. Okay, very important. Okay, so next page, probability. So probability, you must know 2 events: independent events and mutually exclusive events. Okay, but many students mess up with these 2 concepts. Okay, they don't understand, like they cannot see the difference between. So they cannot see the difference between the independent and mutually exclusive events, okay? So right now you understand that, okay? I'll explain it right away. So for independent events, you need to compare with dependent events, okay? So dependent events just means there's a cause and effect relationship, okay? So if something happens, then it will affect another. So let's say your income will affect your spending, right? If you earn more, then you spend more, yeah? So there's a cause and effect. Okay, independent events, then you can think of a case that is like the food in your school canteen, okay? VS what? School canteen VS the teaching quality, okay? Teaching quality at school. So obviously the food improves, won't lead to the teaching quality, improvement in the teaching quality, right? Okay, so there's no cause and effect, and this is what we call the independent events, right? Okay, dependent events, income and spending. Okay, but in math, independent events, always think of PA times PB equals to PA and B, yeah? So this is the key thing you need to know about the independent events, very, very important, okay? And then for this one, mutually exclusive events. So mutually exclusive, it means 2 things, they hate each other. So A and B, they separate, yeah? Okay, so there is no overlap. So example, you can think of A is your mom, okay? And then B is a male. So obviously your mom cannot be a male, right? Okay, mom cannot be a male, so there's no overlap, yeah? Okay, so A and B must be equal to 0. So mutually exclusive, think of mom and male, right? No overlap. And PA and B must be equal to 0. Then dependent events, PA times PB, PA and B, yeah? Okay, and then for distribution, you need to know 2 things, okay? Normal distribution and binomial distribution. For normal distribution, you always think of a graph like this, right? Okay, it's like a curve, yeah? Bell shape. Okay, it should be like this, okay? Yeah, so, but what does it mean by normal distribution? So in one word is 3M. What does it mean by 3M? It means the data is distributed like in a way that mean is equal to median equals to the mode, okay? Because not all the set of data is like this, right? So this kind of question, there must be a hint that the data is normally distributed. So you must see that word, and then you know that must be about this topic, okay? It's usually in paper 2 question. And then for binomial distribution, you need to know for this one is like sample size or number of times, okay? So let's say for this question, if I toss a coin like 10 times, and then you want to get exactly 2 heads, right? Okay, you can think of many combinations, because exactly 2 heads, it can be like H, and then all tails, right? Okay, or it can be tail, and then H. So there are too many combinations. So that's why we need to use the binomial distribution, okay, to shorten the way, yeah? Okay, so basically it's just like 10 out of 10 times, and then you want to choose exactly 2 heads, right? Okay, exactly 2 heads. And then you want to choose 2 heads, the head probability would be half, power of 2, and then all the other tails has to be 8 times. And right now you understand that. So this one is a binomial distribution, okay? But obviously it's not just that simple. So if you want to go through this topic, you can go through my notes on binomial expansion and also normal distribution, okay? So you can just sign up on the overseas.vnote.hk, okay? Yeah, so you can sign up for a free trial lesson for this. And then for regression line, basically you need to know when should we use the regression line and what does it mean by regression line, right? Regression line is actually a best fit line, okay? But you may not understand this word, right? So basically it's just in simple word, it's a straight line, okay? A straight line. So let's say if I give you many dots, and that is what we call the scatter diagram, right? Okay, if you can draw a line, okay, that cross most of the point, okay? That cross most of the point is what we call the best fit line, yeah? Okay, so one concept we need to know, it can be going up or going down. Okay, this is what we call the positive correlation. Okay, and then going down is negative correlation. And the second thing, you need to know regression line must pass through the x mean and y mean. X mean and y mean. This is very, very important. Okay, so if you want to see more question type, then you can go through my regression line as well. Okay, so I've reviewed all the IB question types for you. So next page, topic 6. So topic 6 is calculus. So we got two big topics, that is differentiation and integration. So for the differentiation, you need to know the curve sketching. Okay, so this is a common question type in recent years. And then turning point vs point inflection. So for curve sketching, let's say if I give you fx is like this, right? If I ask you to draw the graph of f prime of x, how do you do that, right? Okay, so you need to know differentiation means the slope. Okay, means the slope of a function. Yeah. Okay, and one more thing I can teach you is you can see the shape is like this, right? Okay, we've all learned the quadratic equation, right? Okay, is x squared, right? Okay, x squared, the graph will be like this, and minus x squared, then it will be a set face. Yeah. Okay, but why is it power 2 here, right? If you draw a line horizontally, then you can see I'll cut 2 points. Yeah. If you draw a line horizontally, you get 3 points. So this one must be an x cubed function, okay? But why is it positive but not negative? If negative x cubed, then we'll go down first and then go up, okay? So if you differentiate that one more time, then what do you get? Then you have 3x squared. 3x squared, then it will be a smile face, yeah? So that's why differentiation of this is a smile face. So many students don't understand why the graph suddenly becomes a quadratic equation. And then if I differentiate one more time, okay? Second derivative, then what happened? This one becomes 6x. So it will be a positive line, okay, going up 6x, right? Yeah, because y equals mx plus c, so then it will be going up. So this is how you differentiate, how you draw the graph, okay? So basically in 208, this one is is a question type that bothers, that frustrate many students, okay? So it's like 4-mark questions. And then for type 2, turning point and point inflection. So what does it mean by turning point? Turning point, a simple word, just means maximum or minimum. Okay, it's easy, only applies, so you can see this one is the maximum, this one's minimum. Yeah, so turning up, go up and go down, positive and negative, so the slope. So we're talking about the first derivative for turning point. Yeah, okay, so and at the turning point for the maximum is always equal to 0. Yeah, so for maximum and minimum, the slope is always equal to 0. But what is the difference between turning point and point inflection, right? So many students get this confused. So in simple word for point inflection, always remember, it's just smile face or set face. So determine smile or set. Yeah, okay, so and point inflection is between smile and set face, okay? So first of all, point of inflection refers to the second derivative, yeah? F prime x equal to 0, yeah? And second derivative determines smile or set face, yeah? Smile or set face, okay? If that is a positive value, second derivative, then you know that it will be a smile face, okay? It will be curved like this. If that is a negative value, then it will be a set face, right? Okay, just like that. So if the question asks you to find the point inflection, so you know that point inflection must be between, because it's 0, right? So it's between a smile face and a set face, and this point is what we call the point of inflection, right? Okay, so many questions will ask you to justify using the second derivative to justify whether it's a maximum or minimum point. So right now you understand that. Second derivative, smile or set, right? Okay, if there's some smile face, then it will be a minimum point. Yeah? So you won't get confused, because some student will like memorize, positive must be about maximum, okay, because you can get more, okay, but that is not the right way to memorize, okay, then it is totally wrong. So a smile face for the second derivative, then you know that it must be minimum, and it's usually 2 marks, okay? So if that's a maximum, you just differentiate twice and then you sub back in. If you get a negative value, then it will be a maximum point. Yeah? So right now you understand that. Okay, and then for integration, you need to know by substitution. Okay, this one's a must question in your coming exam because it's new syllabus. Okay, new syllabus. So you know that regression line and by substitution is a new syllabus in Math IB exam. Okay, so this one you must know that, and you need to know how to work on the substitution. If you want to know more about this, you can go through my integration note 7. Okay, note 7. So I've reviewed all the question type for you. And for area and volume, so basically integration calculates the area and also the volume, right? Okay, so area, what does it mean? If I give you two graphs, usually like 6-mark questions in paper 2, fx and gx. You want to find out the area enclosed by this two graph. How do you do that, right? So first step, find an intersection points. You need to find point 1 and point 2, yeah? Okay, so and then the second step, top minus bottom. What is top minus bottom? So top minus bottom means the curve on top minus the bottom, right? So integration 1 to 2 fx minus gx and then dx, yeah? So this is just the expression, okay? After you integrate this, then there's no dx anymore, yeah? Okay, so you need to know that it's top minus bottom. That's how you find out the enclosed area. It's usually 6-mark questions, but this one is kind of easy, right? Okay, but if I ask you to find the volume, then you need to know for volume, okay, so what is the equation for volume? So it's pi integration y squared dx, yeah? Okay, so what does it mean by pi integration y squared dx? And when do I know it's asking you to find the volume, right? So usually, basically it's always, okay? MathSL exam will give you the example like this. So they will give you a graph and then they'll ask you to find it, and this one's the area R, right? And then they will say something like R is revolved, okay, 360 degree about the x-axis, right? About the x-axis. And then you know that this one must be asking you to find the volume, and then you just need to apply the equation here, yeah? So let's say fx is equal to maybe negative x squared, right? Okay. And then this one 0 to 1, 0 to 1. So how do you find the volume of this then? Then you just need to know, oh, it's integration and then 0 to 1 minus x squared and then power of 2 dx and then add a pi here, right? Okay, so pi y squared dx, yeah? So this is just a simple concept for integration, but actually there's a lot because you can see substitution, I got like 7 notes. So note 1 to 6. Okay, there are many key traits in it. So if you want to have want to get more in-depth understanding for integration and then be more prepared for IB exam, then you can sign up on the overseas.vnote.hk. Okay, go on this website and then you click register with a free trial lesson. Yeah, so you can get any topic you want from there for one lesson, okay? So, and yeah, if you need help, then you can just maybe just email me, okay, or WhatsApp me, and then hopefully this video will help you to get like a level 7 in your math exam, okay? So I'll see you next time.